as an analyst, as a scientist, what risk could these prefer for us, or what risk do you foresee for political stability in Ghana? And if there are, how can we mitigate these tensions?
On Parliament?
No, still on, yes, indeed, Parliament, but still on the recollated results. There are conversations happening. NPP is speaking, NDC is speaking. There are obviously party supporters that love parties so much that any little inconsistencies or any new development that does not go their way raises the heat. And so how could this also bode for our political stability in the nation? We tout ourselves as a very stable nation that enjoys the democracy we have. But all of these are quite new to us because these, like you said, precedents. Are there any risk you foresee? And if there are, how could we, right from now, start to mitigate them so that we douse the flames and they don't grow into an inferno?
Yes, you know, Abna, what happens is that when the elections, the results came, at least 2 opinion, and then the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, accepted defeat, I think within 24 hours, unofficially. I thought that the EC could have, at least, has done a good job, because looking at the 275 constituencies and not having much more of these kind of issues about electoral inefficiencies, the EC has really done well. But the few constituencies that the issues that came as a result of the things that we mentioned is just tainting the 2024 elections. And that is where my concern is, that every election comes on with its own dynamics, comes on its own situation. All elections are not the same. The 2020 was a COVID elections, and you know how things went on. At the same time, and here, you see that the breaking the 8 was something that all the parties, I said earlier, the smart party or the smart person will win the election. So if you are not smart, your opponent will take an advantage of that. So what happened was that these few constituencies is something that need to be handled so swiftly with the right procedures, so that it will not be a problem for future elections. Because if some of these things are just being done in a unofficial or illegal way, it gives a lot of bad signals to stakeholders. And that is why I'm saying that the EC should bring in the stakeholders. I think the EC should not be looking at only themselves as a body, but they should look at the body that are in charge, but they have stakeholders. Because when the elections was, the preparation, we were preparing for these elections, the EC were contacting these stakeholders mostly to brief them, to have their consent. I don't see why these situations that happen, the EC could have drawn these stakeholders on board and see them how to resolve these issues as soon as possible, but waited for some time, and now things are being done in a way that they are not part of it. That is where my worry is. If not, maybe you are just putting the other stakeholders in a way that will make you more confrontational in terms of the allegation, which might not be unfounded. So I think that the EC need to avoid this situation as soon as possible. The two constituencies that is left, they should call an emergency meeting for all the stakeholders to come in, so that these issues will be resolved, rather than through the court means, which can be, in quotes, waste of time and other activity towards the January 7th inauguration. So I think that the EC need to back up on their consultations and stakeholders meeting to resolve this issue.
Let me take final thoughts from Lawyer Maliba, and then I'll come to Alhaji Buga and finally finish with you, Dr. Efili. Lawyer Maliba, and bringing a conclusion to our conversation today all of these have happened. You've also said that you will not show us your strategies moving forward, but give us your final thoughts on the conversation and how far we should be looking.
The people of Ghana voted in a way to suggest that they want the NDC to have a free hand to implement its policies. And that is why they have given the NDC that huge majority so that we won't have a stalemate like we used to have when there was 137, 137. Now, the way we use it will be key and critical. The people of Ghana saw the 137, 137 as disruptive and did not just give the NDC a majority, but gave us a working majority. So we can actually do without them. And when we say we can do without them, is to say that, look, you remember when they called Parliament and we were seated and they decided to walk out. When they decided to walk out, we didn't have a quorum to take a decision. But with the kind of majority that the people of Ghana gave us, anytime they walk out, we can take decisions. So that's the difference. Now, I see more of walkouts from the minority in this parliament. I see them walking out frequently because they will disagree, and when they disagree, they will think that the majority is suppressing them, they will walk out. But like I said, the caution is let's use our majority for the benefit of the people of Ghana. And when they are walking out, people will know that, yes, it is in the interest of Ghana that the NDC is doing what they are doing. And by so doing, their party will rather die and not the NDC. So we know that a majority can be used productively or it can be disruptive. But I urge my party, the MPs, to use it for the benefit of the good people of this country.
Okay.
For instance, a poor country like Ghana cannot be given tax waivers like what we have currently before Parliament. Rich companies, you are giving them tax waivers. That is not done. And when the NDC comes and says that we are going to cancel those tax waivers, that is in the interest of Ghana and not bullying the NPP. So I think moving forward, the way we use it will tell the people of this country whether we deserve it or not.
Okay. Let me come to you, Alhaji Buga. Your final thoughts on the conversation, especially as today your party is expected to hold a press conference. Your national chairman will be addressing. What should we also expect from that press conference?
Abuna, my final word is that you see the NDC. I am going to dissent heavily about these services that has been recollated and declared in the favor of the New Patriotic Party. All these things, all this halubalu, they try that NDC are trying hard to jeopardize this country by saying that they will not accept the result of the EC. I think to us, the New Patriotic Party, it is a plan. It rehearses against the 2028 that the NDC know clearly that Ghanaians are going to reject them, to reject the NDC come 2028 because they will perform poorly from 2025 to 2028. NDC cannot perform. FOCO, NDC cannot perform. All the promises that NDC gave, they can't do one. I'm telling you, mark my words, because we know how competent this government is. We know how competent this government is. The load shedding is going to come back. Extend free Cedar High School to private school. They are lying. They cannot do. Paying first-year student fee. NDC can never do that. So all these promises that NDC are promising, even the so-called 24-hour economy, which the president-elect said it was voluntary, How can a policy be a voluntary? I know this NDC, they will fail. So they are rehearsing against 2024 with their hooligans, so that if they succeed, they will do same in our various coalition center 2028. That is why they are pressing. They want to see how they want to see the point of their strength, whether or not their hooliganism and their force can snatch this thing a seat for them. If not that, it is quite clear out there that the Chima South, the MPP won with more than 3,000. The Nsawa Adojire Anodompre has won. Nsohum Frank has won. All this recollated constituency, it is clear, and the NDC know that they have lost in this constituency, but only to what? To perceive, and they think that perseverance can conquer the difficulties that they were thinking. So the MPP is ready. That is why today the leadership of the party, led by our chairman, national chairman Stephen Tim, we are going to do a press conference, a hot press conference, to show signal to the NDC that what they think. We heard them saying that they will see the road that these 7 MPs that has been declared by the EC, that have recollated and declared by the EC, the road that they will follow and come to Parliament. And we are going to ask the NDC whether or not is the Parliament belongs to their families, or the Parliament is their own property, or it is their NDC party headquarters. That is where we will see. So the NDC, now, we are not going to joke with the NDC at all. Whatever effort we put, whatever effort that we, the MPP, have put, Ghanaians have seen it. That is why we accepted defeat earlier. Abuna, all these 275 constituencies, did you heard an MPP during this 2024 election, any coalition that MPP has won there and scatter anything? But this is a political party that has beat our people to some extent, kill a person, and went to our parliamentary candidate house, burn his house, burn his car, tear his ballot paper, even clean sheets to some extent, they burn them. Look at the kind of hooliganism that is taking on. So the MPP, we are so ready for them. Okay. These 7 MPs that have been declared by EC, they are coming to Parliament today. They are coming to Parliament tomorrow. Anybody, nothing can change this verdict.
Thank you.
If this verdict is going to change, I'm telling you, something will happen. If this verdict is going to change, we are ready for the NDC. I'm telling you, enough is enough. We will not sit idle and watch these people to be putting intimidation to us. When we joke, the same plan that they are going to use it in 2028. And I'm telling you, 2028 election, it will be brutal. I'm telling you, NDC cannot even come near coalition center. I'm telling you.
Alhaji Masaudu,
we are ready for these people.
Okay, Alhaji Masaudu, thank you for your time this morning on the show. Dr. Friye, let me take your final thoughts on the conversation this morning.
I think we will say that let cool heads
prevail,
reign for all the parties involved, and let the right thing need to be done, the right procedure. If it is court, the court should come in, or I don't think that we can use any other dubious or kind of physical way to resolve issues. All matters under the EC need to be considered in terms of how to resolve issues amicably. Let all of us get involved and let things be done as soon as practicable.
Okay. Dr. Friye, we are grateful for your time this morning. Lawyer Abaleba, we are also grateful for your time and your input. And Alhaji Masaudu, we are grateful for your time and input too. We'll come back for more conversations as things roll by. Dr. Samuel Friye is a political scientist, a political analyst at The Kumasi Technical University lawyer Abraham Amaliba is the director in charge of conflict resolution at the NDC, and Alhaji Masaudu Buga is the third vice chairman of the NPP. That's all for our main discussion this morning on ABC in the morning. We've been looking at the declaration of some 7 seats after the Electoral Commission recollated results. We will be back. We're taking a break. We'll be back with Politics Today. Stay with us.
Focus on ABC. This is where the headlines are probed. Policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the parade to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana Television.
ABC in the morning, live on ABC News GH. Politics today. Today, we're looking at the oral team. Oral, Operation Recover or Loot. This is an acronym that gained a lot of traction after the NDC won the elections, and leading into the swearing in of John Mahama and his administration, the NDC have indicated that the oral team will look at recovering all looted state monies, all over the things that belong to the state that some entities or individuals have taken away. Sometime last week, President-elect John Mahama mentioned, or in a statement, has declared to Ghanaians the people or the persons that will be leading the team. Okujetwa Blakwa, MP for North Tongue, the private legal practitioner Martin Pebu is on that. Former Commissioner of Police Kofi Boakye is on the team. Ken Kranche, who is also an investigative journalist, is also on the team. And oral team says that they have begun to receive dossiers on corruption scandals. They have received information on various scandals and alleged corrupt acts in the past 8 years of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led government. And the team officially received the full dossier on the National Service ghost name scandal on Friday, December 20. On Friday, December 20. And the scandal, which has raised serious concerns about corruption and mismanagement, now forms key part of the oral team's ongoing investigations aimed at recovering public funds and exposing fraudulent activities or fraudulent practices. Chairman of the team, Samuel Okujetwa Blakwa, commended the organizations for their patriotism, stating that their contributions will help to reset Ghana. It will help to reset this country and recover all of the stolen resources that have left the country bare to some extent. And the team had previously assured the public that any information received would be handled with the utmost discretion and urgency. They have reiterated their commitment to investigating the scandal thoroughly and addressing any illicit activities that have contributed to the siphoning of public funds. If you have followed the NSS scandal, it was revealed some weeks ago that the NSS had some ghost names on their payroll, and these ghost names, some unscrupulous persons, the investigation said that some persons, they described as unscrupulous, were behind the ghost names and siphoning the money. And this meant that we were losing money through the National Service Scheme. So with the inauguration of the oral team and the widespread skepticism of the team, so there have been some skepticism around the team and about whether they will be able to do the job as they have said they will do. And people have also questioned the legality. In any case, the oral has received the dossier on the NSA, the National Service Authority, regarding the ghost names. Key among the persons on the oral team, like I said, Okujetwa Blakwa is on the team, Kofi Boakye is on the team, Martin Pebu is on the team, Yao Domlevo, former Auditor General, is on the team, and also Raymond Archer. Pardon me, earlier I said Ken Kranche. Pardon me, my apologies, viewers. Raymond Archer, who is an investigative journalist, is also on the team. People have raised concerns about this oral team, asking what the legal backing is behind them, or what legal backing they have to be able to do the work they have done. People have raised concerns about how their work will differ from constitutionally mandated corruption-fighting institutions such as the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the CID, IOCO, SHRAJ, NIB, and many others. But there is a but here. President-elect John Mahama says that the oral team will serve as a focal point where all of the evidence is directed to. So you direct your evidences to the oral team, and according to President-elect, the committee will assemble the evidence and pass it on to the appropriate government institutions for further investigation. So this will be like a team that receives all of the evidences, decides that this one goes here, this one goes there, and then it makes the work less cumbersome for the appropriate teams. And the president-elect also noted that there will be no budget or expenditure associated with their work, saying that the team is serving pro bono and they have no authority to investigate individuals themselves. Earlier, Okudzeto-Ablakwa also tweeted some time ago, some days ago, about the work the oral team will be doing. I will read that tweet to you in a few minutes, but he said 4 days ago that the oral team held its first meeting at 12 p.m. today and has resolved to work gratis. We shall not be receiving salaries, allowances, per diems, or fuel coupons. None of our activities will come at a cost to the taxpayer. We continue to count on your support. Let's do this for God and country. And this was on 18th December. He posted this on his X page at 7:46 p.m. Some say that, well, indeed, you should be working for no pay because you do not have any legal backing or any mandate in our constitution. So if anybody was going to pay you, that will also raise concerns. So if the oral team is going to do any work, everybody understands that it is a pro bono work they will be doing for the nation. And this is the work the oral team is going to do. There are some key scandals that the oral team is looking at focusing on. Some of these key scandals include the collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks, and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 225 billion Ghana cedis, and illegal printing of $58 million by the Bank of Ghana. They'll also be looking at the National Cathedral scandal. They'll look at the COVID-19 expenditure scandal, the PDS scandal, the Ejapa royalty scandal, the SML scandal, the ambulance spare parts deal. They also will be looking at the 13 African Games that ended a few months ago, the Sky Train, the Pualugu Dam, the Galamsey fraud and missing excavators and tricycles, the Sputnik V deal, which was about the COVID-19 shots that Ghanaians took, the bust scandal, and the National Service Authority NSA scandal. At the moment, they have received a dossier on the National Service Authority and they will begin to look at it. But for you as a Ghanaian, this whole team, oral team, does it inspire any confidence in you? Or do you also go by what people have been saying, raising concerns about the fact that they do not have any legal backing to do the work they do? So you think that this team is dead on arrival? Conversations on social media suggest there have been varying conversations. Some have expressed some very strong confidence in this team to be able to bring about the change that Ghanaians need. The oral team indeed says that they will be resetting Ghana with their work. Others say that they don't see this as any different than what the government in power sought to do with the office of the special prosecutor. And so if an office that had legal backing was unable to do as much, how much more a team that does not really have any much legal backing? So even at the conception stage, at the beginning stage, many believe that it is dead on arrival. Government will be constituted and sworn in by January 7. We will see how far this oral team will go. Those who have a lot of confidence have expressed confidence because of the work that Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has been doing in the past few years about uncovering scandals, so to say. Anytime conversations like this come on, some say that with lawyer Martin Tebu, he has declared his stance on corruption and all. So we should be sure that the team will work and work well. They've also mentioned that the former Auditor General Yaw Domlevo is one that you can trust to do the work of corruption and do it well. In any case, many people have also raised concerns about the people found on this team, have started digging into their past. For those who do not know of those past, to bring it to light for people to know that, well, you shouldn't really be expecting much. But what do you think? Do you believe that this anti-corruption team will be able to do the work that it has been given, and we will see a reset like they say they are looking at? Samuel Okujetua Blakwa, Daniel Domlevo, Nathan Kofi Boache, Martin Pebu, and Raymond Archer. The oral team, Operation Recover All Loot, will they indeed be able to recover the loot that Ghanaians need? Will they recover all of the resources that some persons have taken away from the nation? Or at the end of the day, it will Ghanaians will just heave and say that it is like it has always been. We will be seeing what the oral will do, but let us know what you think about it. Maybe in upcoming conversations we will take your thoughts, your views on this team and what you expect them to be able to do. But they have launched a site for you to visit to be able to lodge whatever complaint you may have. If you have any evidence that or any information that you want to give to them, they have set up a team for you to send your information, and it says how to send information on suspected acts of corruption and state capture to Team Oral. The anti-corruption preparatory team set up by President-elect His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has launched various platforms through which members of the public can securely forward information on suspected acts of corruption. Members of the public wishing to share any information on suspected acts of corruption can reach the team on the toll-free number. This is the number to call, toll-free 0800-900-111. 0800-900-111. Its website is www.oralgh.org. www.oralgh.org, or you can send them an email through public@oralgh.org. public@oralgh.org. And the press statement says the public is hereby assured that information sent to the team will be handled expeditiously and with utmost discretion. It was signed by Felix Kwachiofosu, who is the spokesperson for the Mahama Transition Team. So they have already shown you that this is how you can send any information you have on corruption, suspected corruption cases, to Team Oral. And beyond that, Team Oral says that 2 days ago they received the full dossier on the National Service ghost name scandal, which conservative estimates indicates that it has cost Ghana over 500 million Ghana cedis. And they sent their gratitude to the Fourth Estate and the Media Foundation for West Africa for the presentation and their exceptional patriotism. They also said that they know that by this we all will be able to reset Ghana to the Ghana that we want. Let's see how this goes on. How confident are you that Team Oral will be able to pull off the work they have been given? How confident are you? Do you have a lot of confidence in Team Oral, or you are like those who are skeptical about it and don't really think anything will amount from this? There's more we will be looking at into this, and so rest assured we'll bring you more, and we also will be looking forward to hearing what you as a Ghanaian think about this. And this is how we end the show today on ABC in the Morning. Today, 23rd of December 2024. Tomorrow is 24th, and we know that on 24th a lot of people look forward to that because we are entering into Christmas. Before I end the show, let's take some happy Saturday, over the weekend, you guys partied. We know you partied. Ghanaians partied. All in the build-up to the Christmas. There was Beamfest. There was Zama Disco. And then there was also the Made Entire concert. For those who did not attend or did not see any visuals, we are bringing you some excerpts from these events that drew some very huge crowds. Enjoy.
If I wanna be something, I'll go to my beard. Win-win, that's no conclusion. When I play with the souls, I see it. One man knows we do one finish. Mama said it takes a village. So my boy, they react to women. We the voice on the streets, I said it. We the voice on the voiceless period. Do my thing while I see go watching. Hate the man, don't hate the message. So many things inside me, feel like hey, who is shouting the victim service? You in trouble, I'm in private. Niggas up on the streets, so sad. I was doing time today. I can show you an enemy. Looking for money, this one today. Oh, I was doing time today. I can show you an enemy. Looking for money, this one today.
So that was a very interesting week, and there was not just a few concerts, Beam concerts, Made in Tadi, Zama Disco Manifestivities, and so many concerts happening. We know that there's going to be more and more into the holidays, and in as much as you're having fun, you should also take care of yourself. Don't leave your drinks unattended to, your meals unattended to. If you're drinking, please don't drive. You know you're going to have so much fun, and you may be intoxicated. Do well